Welcome back, 5 Aces.
Battle control initialized.
Hey people, 5 Aces here. While you're watching this, it is presumably already 2022, but I'm casting this in 2021, but while you're already here, let's grab ourselves a nice cup of tea, or whatever the drink of your preference, and let's reminisce about the greatest events of 2021, which has, for all intents and purposes, just been an extension of 2020. But be that as it may, this is the finals of the RAGL Season 11, and there is a lot of money at stake here, because someone decided to donate $1,500 worth of Dogecoin. I've mentioned that previously, so a sizable chunk of that is gonna go to the victor. And the two players who are contesting over this very sizable lump sum are, in the top right, the title defender, two-time RAGL champion of Season 9 and 10 respectively. He's made it back to the finals again, Mr. Goat. And his opponent, spawning as some sort of Soviets as well. Ooh, Russia. It is Mr. Kav, whom no one had on the radar until very recently, and he has carved out a name for himself by grinding the ladder up and down and taking names. Okay, the engineer is already forfeit. That is a great start here for Goat, who gets the jump on the engineer of Kav and thus delays rifle production further. Double refinery for both, which is pretty much the norm. Interesting, I think Goat must have gone random, because he usually tends to open up with a kennel when he's playing as Soviets. So that is kind of curious. Kav is trying to retaliate, but the engineer is going to be just that extra little bit faster. Yep, execution squad are waiting in the wings, and no chance of a snipe on this engineer. It is always kind of hard to assess, because you don't know where to place your rifles. You have to rely on your gamer sense. And this is sometimes one of the hardest skills to learn in OpenRA. It's not about the unit micro per se, it's about positioning. Knowing where your opponent may be at the time, and getting a good read on them, which also involves studying replays, by the way. Okay, Goat up to a great start here. We're gonna take a look at the combat tab, and we're gonna take a look at the army graph respectively. So, if you have just now tuned in, you've missed out on a lot. There has been a series in the bronze match particularly, was probably the best series I've casted in OpenRA in a long time, between Oops and Pink Thought. That was one of the most entertaining, but also one of the most cutthroat series I've seen so far. It was always close, despite all those wacky builds. Whoopsie. Was a little misclick. Goat putting the engineer with the main combat group and thus delaying the capture. But that's fine, because Kav doesn't have his light vehicle out yet. In fact, he is foregoing a light vehicle. That is super interesting. He's playing from behind, he knows this. So he is just rushing out some eco to try and contest. But triple refinery already out for Goat, who is just now also up to his 4th harvester. And the light vehicle, which in the Soviet case is obviously not as light, is gonna be an APC. For those of you who don't know, light vehicle usually... Oh, light tank was purchased for Goat. Missed that. Light vehicle usually just refers to the vehicles you can build from tier 0. Okay, the trap has been sprung. The light tank is forfeit. The APC is coming in. The medics cannot out-heal the armor of the APC. Okay, an overcommitment from Goat. That is going to reflect poorly in the combat tab for now. But to make up for it, on the back of this pressure, he got 3 derricks. 3 over nil. And he stands to get the 4th derrick as well if Kav doesn't pay any attention here. Because both the engineer and the ranger are still in the perimeter. As soon as he sees him jump on this derrick, he should honestly capture the 4th derrick. There is literally nothing stopping me. Oh my goodness, he's gonna get the snipe again. Thank you, goodbye, and gets out unscathed as well. What a play from Goat. Perfect positioning on the ranger, did not get scouted on his scouting run up north. I think he saw the war factory positioning as well, which is usually a good sign. Yes, he did just barely see it. So, it is now Kav's turn to go Scorched Earth policy and just destroy all the derricks. Alright, we're gonna go back into everybody's vision. There we go. This ranger has paid for itself tenfold already. So this is going to be a 3/0 Derek advantage that Cav can't easily catch up on, because he simply doesn't have a Derek to capture anymore. The army advantage is going to be with Goat in a little bit as well. Deploying the refineries are both relatively similar timings. There is the bigger ore patch out here for Cav, but that's going to dry up in just a couple of minutes. But until then, I'd wager Goat has definitely got an advantage. The Ranger is playing a risky game here. There is another engineer purchase. That is engineer number 3 for Cav. I'm not sure if I'm liking this. I'm absolutely uncertain as to whether or not that's a good idea. Oh, is Goat aware? I don't think he is. Okay, so this is gonna be a recaptured Derek. Simply by virtue of Goat forgetting about the Derek for now. Yeah. A couple of words about those players. Oh, he realizes now, but it's too late. Yeah. Yeah, a couple of words about those players. Cav, I think, is from Finland. Let's check that real quick. Oh, yeah, it doesn't show anymore. Goat, anyway, has got his double trophies already online. Ooh, RHL Season 9. He did not claim the one for Season 10 yet, but he has it, I know that. And he also won the Team League. Oh my goodness, that engagement. The tanks rolling in, but there are counter tanks from... Ooh! Cav is also waltzing all over this army. Okay. So at the end of the day, a relatively even trade. 1 heavy tank lost, lots of infantry being bled dry. The husks from Goat amount to 3. Which is a significantly more. I think that was actually going in Cav's favor. Yeah. Cav has pulled this back with this engagement now. He actually has an army advantage. This is, by the way, game 1 in a series of 5, potentially 5 matches. And just a word of advice, I may have to split up the casts here because no one watches videos over like an hour and 30 minutes. However long this is gonna take. And I'm honestly hyped. It's gonna take a while, realistically. No signs of tech yet, and here is the Gatekeeper build. So this is kind of a risky maneuver. What Goat is doing here, he's taking his original MCV and relocating it. Okay, decides against it because he has seen the riflemen die. He wanted to claim this expansion, but he knew there was an army in the perimeter, so he did not go for it. Goat is a well-versed strategy player, especially... I think Age of Empires 2 is his go-to game, so he definitely knows about his macro. He knows how to mass up and how to bulk an army. Fairly even in terms of the army graphs. But the thing is, Cav has traded better. Oh, this may be changing here. That is a very fortified position. And with closing off the walls with the pillbox here, that was just no way for Cav to breach anymore. Goat does not want to take this engagement here. Alright. Ah! That one rifle from the backlines doing all the damage. Oh wow! That guy! It's move command for Cav, that's why this guy is getting so many kills. Holy smokes! That guy got like 7 or 8 kills. Multi-kill, I think he can call in a drone strike or something. Alright. So this army is being cleaned up. On the left-hand side, this is the classic 1-2 maneuver, the double prong. Pillboxes do not stem the tide here, by the way. The southern cap... Oh my goodness! Not again! Goat has captured yet another Khan yard. But he still has to run here, and the artilleries are hammering in. Okay, as soon as the artillery starts hitting home, that's when you have to pull the retreat. That's gonna be a lot of infantry kills in a very short amount of time. There is still an army around, though. They're slowly starting to get whittled down. Lots of rockets here in the vicinity. And only 2 tanks remaining. I think he can at least kill the refinery now. Kill a power plant as a consolation prize. Man, this cap was just insane. That stemmed from the original Ranger with the original Engineer. That one Engineer for Goat has done more damage or more economical damage than the entirety of Cav's army. Man, and now he's sitting in the main base with his secondary army. The auxiliary forces are just bludgeoning their way through this base. That is absolutely brutal. A clinical dismantling in game number 1. And this is starting to look like it increasingly like it is Goat's game here. Game number 1 going to Goat, presumably. Because there is nothing much stopping him from dismantling the entire eco lines. All the harvesters in the main base are dead. There is a radar dome out, but only 4 harvesters on pretty much no income at all. The map is starting to look very blue. And tier 2 production has ramped up for Goat as well. So I don't see a victory condition here anymore for Cav, whose economy has been reduced to a couple scraps that he is allowed to pick up from the streets. Yeah, that was very decisive. Is he going for the... I think Cav may be going for the strategy that Pink Thought employed, where you just build mass harvesters. Problem is his war factory is not blocked by Husk. No, he's just going for tanks. Alright. Fair enough. Yeah. Black Hawks are gonna be here to screen the perimeter, be the eyes in the sky, and kill everything that spawns out of the barracks. Yep. Thank you, good sir. One more. Whoops. He forgot about that one. But that's completely fine. How many harvesters are we left with here? That is 3 harvesters. That is not much of an economy. That is welfare. He has to live on social security for the time being. I'm very sorry. The COVID crisis has obviously hit him very hard. Cav has to basically cut down and learn to budget. Little downsizing. He got the yak out though. That is fairly impressive. There is no more radar dome production, so no V2s. Oh no! Adding insult to injury, there's a turret in your eco lines, my friend. And at some point you have to... I'm all for fighting it out, but you have to know when to go. Right? Right? Yeah, GG being called. What a game 1. What an opener. That is a 1-0 up for Mr. Goat, the title defender, but... yeah, I think... can Cav come back swinging? Let's see, let's find out in game 2.
Battle control terminated. Battle control initialized.
Welcome to the moon. This is Moonopoly. We're gonna be zooming out, as is tradition on this channel, because this map just fits nicely with the widescreen display. Makes it a bit more framey, but as long as no units are on the field, it's completely fine. So this map is very open. It has 2 derricks in the corners, and it lends itself to a war factory rush, which leaves me to wonder, yeah, are we gonna be seeing a war factory rush for either of those players? Wouldn't be out of the question, but I honestly think that Goat values the pressure from a double refinery build more. And speaking of pressure, he's also going for a dog. He has had those timings down so well in the past. Is he gonna go for that again? No way. I don't think he's gonna get it this time though. The riflemen are too close. Look at how immaculate his timing is. Oh my goodness! How many times? How many times has this happened? I swear, if... like, I would have been watching his replays if I were a title contender. I would study his replays and just study the movement of this. He must have timed this out just perfectly. And he gets the engineer, like, works most of the time every time. Oh my lord, those dogs. Well, that's gonna be a bit of a delay. And Goat is following up with a massive rifle push. He knows that Cav has nothing to lose, and Cav is most likely not gonna be tackling his derrick, so he's going on the aggression. All right, and I think he's gonna arrive there. Maybe not in time. No, I think if the engineer starts capping right away, he's not gonna be there in time. Ooh, okay, yeah, that was the scouting rifle dying. And we know how dangerous Goat's engineers can be if left to their devices. Oh, the main forces are coming in. That's gonna be incredibly close. Oh my goodness, he's gonna get it, okay. Just barely. just barely gets it, but I think Goat can force fire this down at that point. Yeah, easily. And Kav did rush out a War Factory, but he shouldn't have the econ to produce an APC in time. So this is a dead oil derrick, and again, pressure advantage for Goat. Double refinery for both. No, wait, that was War Factory first for Kav. That's one of the issues with War Factory first. It is slower. It is a slower start. It does scale faster. But you need to make something, like, your opponent can make so many things work on the map while this is going on. Engineer, again, waiting in the wings with his space engineer suit. Probably he's doing push-ups on the moon. Come on, that's not exactly a flex. Like, what's the gravity there? 0.2 G or some shit. Look. Doing push-ups on the moon, that's not a flex, my friend. That is super easy. You can jump 30 feet in the air if you want. Do some cool stuff. Come on, you're on the moon. Anyway, country roads take me home. The APC is now going down, the Moon Rover, as it were. Moon Rover is trying to take over the oil derrick. Hostile takeover, and it's looking very good. Rest of the army actually went back. Oh, there's the counter APC. Just waiting in anticipation for the reveal of the rifle. Or the reveal of the NG. That's perfect. Yeah. He's waiting in the wings. He's waiting. Ah, Kav is not falling for it. Kav is actually waiting himself. They're both playing the long con. But this APC is being kept within reach of the oil derrick and can snipe an engineer if need be. That is just prudent gameplay from Goat. Let's see if Kav is gonna fall for it. There is an MCV on the way for both, and those are literally 2 seconds apart. It's less than 2 seconds. Aww. He hasn't seen the APC yet. So there may still be something more happening. Goat just rallying his infantry to the expansion slot. He's planning on taking this one over as soon as the MCV hits. Kav is going for more barracks before he's building his ore refinery, which leaves him like 20-ish seconds behind now in terms of the timing. So that is a little bit of a timing advantage because the refinery is not going to be online for Kav just yet. Just goes to highlight the macro timings of Age of Empires. I know it's so meticulous there. There is an entire theory craft blog post of 2,000 pages, probably. Someone has written a 2,000-page essay on the perfect distribution of workers in Age of Empires. I just guarantee it. This game has been figured out in a way. At least the economy has. And it is also highly enjoyable to watch, but I'm not good enough to... I'm not good in the macro department, so Age of Empires. I've never been able to get into it, but it was always fun, you know, playing as a kid. Summoning a rocket car. Good times. But Warcraft 3 has always been my jam. And Command & Conquer, obviously. Very sexy. Alright, so kind of a calm early game, calm and collected. With just a little advantage for Mr. Goat. It's gonna reflect itself in the army graph, which is dead even. And the economy tab is relatively even as well. 2k trailing behind, that's probably the derrick, if anything. And in terms of production, we're seeing a Tesla coil for Goat. Tesla coils can be really devastating for base pushes. Oh, that is a dead engineer. Yep. And this APC is loaded. I think that's 3 rockets. Ooh, is he gonna... Yeah, that is 3 rockets that is gonna unload in the backlines. Nice idea. Nice idea, but probably not too successful. At least gets the harvesters pulled off the line for a little. Okay, and the engagement has started. Ah! He should just kill the Conyard. He's trying to kill the army instead. Oh my... Are you kidding me? Why does this work every single time? Why? Luckily for Kav, he's got double War Factory. Otherwise, he would be completely screwed at this point. Are you kidding me? Yeah, there's the rifle. Goat is getting so much value from engineers. Honestly, sell it off, because you can't get his AI. Thank you very much. He built a heavy tank! That is actually smart. That is gonna force a lot of units now. Okay, Otrak is rallied somewhere else. But what a swing here. However, there is a massive force beelining their way into Cav's expansion lines, and they have really good positioning, but also really good concave. So it all depends on the position of the rocket soldiers, because the rocket soldiers need to deal with the meat shields. There's the Tesla coil in the back lines, yeah. Tesla coil sealing the deal here. Are you kidding me with those engineers? Why does this keep on working? This is just a mystery to me. Okay. Goat re-engaging it. I don't think that's the best engagement for him to take now. He doesn't have the meat shield that he had previously. He's not fighting in the range of the flame towers, and the actual infantry army is larger for Cav. He has now managed to back tech by virtue of necessity. Almost sarcastic if you didn't pick up on that. Yeah. Yeah, when you lose your service depot, that can only mean one thing. Time to build APCs. Flak trucks are not sturdy enough. As Soviets, it's not that bad, because as allies, you can't get to build light tanks, and light tanks die really easily. But as allies, but as Soviets, it's actually fairly decent. Really good hits from the flame towers, jeez. Yeah, you can spam flame towers till the end of days. There's also a little rocket incursion that has managed to kill off the harvester for now. Moving further, trying to get into the eco lines yet again. Really, like, no creative play has been necessary, but the sheer, like, the small details. The small details that have made this game make it so impressive sometimes. It's absolutely noticeable that this is a complete masterclass in OpenRA. Alright, Radadome has been purchased for Goat, and oh, he is Ukraine this time around, so time for Yaks and time for probably V2s. Just like me, just like myself, Goat is very much a V2 fan. V2s, some of the most fun units to use in the game. Second only to MiGs, if you ask me. Tanks are going in, but they're taking a decisive pummeling, courtesy of the rocket soldiers. Still, they're marching forward now. Oh, the rockets... Goat's rockets were focusing on the rifle infantry. That was a lack of target selection there that led to a victory in the engagement for Cav. Okay, Goat is sending another army out. He's also got the first V2 launcher online. He needs to get some good shots into the center of mass. He's trying to pull off a yak stunt. Little yak stunt duel here. Trying to crash into the blob. What he's doing is sometimes a little questionable. You can get this for cheaper. Because what he... I've talked about this before, but yaks veer off their target after killing their target. So if you target one single infantry in a blob, it's gonna shoot once, kill the target, and then veer off. And then if it gets shot out of the skies, it does not travel in the direction of the blob anymore. Ooh, that is a sizable infantry army. So what do you want to do instead? Oh wow, moving just at the right time. Still could have been a good shot. Almost killing a lot. So what you want to do instead is fly your yak overhead. Fly it over the blob without actually firing. And that way, you're always gonna be steering your yak directly into the middle of the blob. That sounds a bit wrong, yeah, but that's how OpenRA works. That's how it is. Ooh. Ore refinery needs one more shot. Thank you, good sir. Ooh, no anti-air though. So this is gonna be 2 dead yaks here. 1 dead. 2 dead V2s. 1 dead V2. Fair enough, that's not too bad. Wasting a lot of shots here, but that's okay. Another yak coming out. He's trying to angle it. He's trying to. Left-hand side, there's a massive army. I don't think that 1 V2 can stem the tide here. We're gonna take a look at the army graph yet again. And this time it's Cav, who definitely has the upper hand. Plus he's killed a lot more. What about the support powers? Parabombs are 2 minutes shy of coming online. They're still making themselves scarce in this series. V2s have been included for Cav as well. I've never seen him wield V2s. Let's see how proficient he's gonna be. Ooh, this Yak leading the charge could easily take out the V2s. That would be devastating. Okay. The defense! That was a very good shot. That was a very good V2 shot, and targeted as well. Targeted onto the ground. Such as to deny any access. Would be worth it sacrificing the Yak to get the V2 plus a couple rockets on the way out. Man, that engineer. Still though, the main base from Cav is mining basically unharmed. And Cav has built a tech center and he has acquired Iron Curtain technology. Oh man, is this a game for MiGs? Okay, I'm just gonna say it. Monopoly is one of the better MiG maps. Oh my lord. There's a demo truck. Heading straight for the army. Is he gonna bait the army in? Oh my goodness, like pretend you've forgotten about your Yak. Draw all the rocket soldiers in and send in your demo truck for blast off. Loses it for now. Oh no! It has been spotted. It has been spotted. We've got blast off. Welp, that was 2.5k down the drain. MiGs, yes, that is absolutely the right choice. Honestly, you should wait until you've got 2 for the extra surprise factor before your opponent can build any semblance of flak trucks. Yeah, look at how the way he's microing. You can dance in and out of Samsite range here. He can, yeah. Not sure if worth, at least he denies a harvester, but he, like, maybe a bit overzealous. Is there gonna be another demo truck though? The Iron Curtain timing favors Cav. There is a slight advantage here of 1 minute, plus Mammoth Tanks. So Mammoth Tanks are good against infantry. I don't like them in this scenario because they get countered by too many things. Heavy tanks counter them, mass rockets counter them. The Iron Curtain, they are too slow to be Iron Curtained reliably. Plus this tech is very exposed. I mean, both the tech structures, both players' tech structures are really exposed. To be fair. The map split has been achieved. Paradrop into the backlines. Wait. Oh! That was the parabombs. Yep. I did unfortunately miss that, but they seem to have done a sizable chunk of damage to this army. Not too bad. Paradrop here gets cleaned up. Not yet. Will be cleaned up as a work in progress. Well, that's a lot of concentration of forces. Would be a shame if a Yak were to crash into this. Alright, a cautious standoff for the time being. Both players really not wanting to give away their advantage. Cav is splitting up his armored forces. The reason for that is you want to have an Iron Curtain target on both sides of the map. That is really smart. Oh, the demo truck! He managed to sneak the demo truck into the backlines. That was brilliant. Oh! And it is countered by a sensational Yak crash. Whoa. Take a look at the army graph again. It's gonna plummet in a second. That was formidable. 61k or 41k though. What a discrepancy. I'm not sure about this part of the blob. That is overzealous. Oh, the Iron Curtains are just waiting to be fired on both sides. The V2 can do so much damage here. Oh my goodness. Ooh, nasty. Already recouping its cost. And the Iron Curtain has been fired here. Yak goes down without killing the V2 rocket launcher. That is big. That is big. What's with the Iron Curtain timing of Goat? He curtained somewhere else. His curtain is on cooldown as well. Where? Did he miss the curtain? Did he seriously miss the curtain or something? Okay, that's awkward. I did not see a curtain come out for him. So he lost pretty much his entire army. He's gonna have to make up with a lot of Harvester snipes. Ooh, not like this. Another MiG going down here. That was unnecessary. You should... Basically, you can never... If you steer them properly, you can never lose MiGs against rocket soldiers. Rocket tracking is limited. And if you move them fast enough away from the fire, you basically... the missiles can't ever catch up. I would honestly snipe out the V2 rocket launcher. Would be worth it. I'm just so curious what happened to the Iron Curtain there. The Iron Curtain from Goat was nowhere to be seen. Maybe it was a misfire. He has to hope for some miracle shots. I mean, that's a good start. Not gonna lie, that is a very good start here. But at this rate, it's starting to look like Cav is about to overpower him. Needs a demo truck on the right-hand side. Another MiG has been purchased. The Iron Curtain not yet up. 20 seconds. 20 seconds to do some free damage. And after that, what do you curtain? He is closing the sack. Cav is at the gates. We've got a Cav situation here at the gates. I repeat, Cav situation at the... Oh, that was a sick yak crash. That was Value Town. Oh, the demo truck is coming out. It's gonna run into the paradrop though. Oh my, no way. What a lucky paradrop. I mean, GG. Honestly, I think that paradrop cost Goat the game here. He had the demo truck lined up and he was about to at least blow a hole into this army. The Mammoth tanks would still have been around, but the infantry would have been deleted off the field. And honestly, the demo truck success rate, I mean, I was about to say demo truck retention rate, but that is traditionally 0. If your demo truck retention rate is above 0, you're doing something terribly, terribly wrong. But his demo truck success rate was 0%. That was, yeah, that was kind of the gist of it. What a game. So, Cav is equalizing. This is the 1-1, and we're gonna be back in game number 3 in just a second.
Battle control terminated. Battle control initialized.
Welcome back, folks. We're on the Dirge, and this is probably the last game before I have to make a cut until the next video, but I'm probably gonna release them back to back anyway. So, Cav this time around spawning as his trusted Ukrainian forces again, Goat as Russia. This has honestly been the go-to matchup that I've seen from them thus far. I've seen a couple Tesla tanks from Goat, and Cav has always relied on the parabombing run, which has been nerfed as of this experimental balance patch that was integrated into the RAGL maps. Now it only flies one single file of Badger bombers instead of 3 Badger bombers. It only flies one bomber that flies a single file formation, so that doesn't wipe armies instantly off the map anymore if they're anywhere close to the edge of the map. There were also ideas floating around of giving them a normalized time, so they take the same amount of time regardless of where on the map you spawn them, so that even if you call them in on the edges of the map, they would still take like 10 seconds off map to be called in. Which would, in my opinion, be the preferable solution, but maybe they haven't gotten around to finding a technical fix there. Because that is, as far as I understand, I don't understand programming, but as far as I understand, that's kind of hard. Dog has taken a bruising already, but he is still alive and kicking. And he is safeguarding the rifles, that is very good, because that way he can never run in head first. Really good. Manages to shave off a couple of rifles already. And he's got his trusted, that's the service dog. I like that. Emotional support animal, yeah. That is the emotional support animal of the Russian army. There are images floating around. I don't know if you've seen this, but the Polish army in the Second World War, they actually recruited a bear. A legit bear, a brown bear, that was able to resupply the front lines with ammunition. It was just really well trained. That is just astounding to me. Oh my goodness, the meat grinder, it's happening! The dog! The dog! Alright, you've earned your snack, buddy. Huh? Yes, you've earned your snack. Come on, come on, come on. Oh, nom 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 nom. Very good. Good boy. The emotional support dog. Causing some emotional distress here to Cav. More like an emotional distress animal. Oh man. What's it with goat and dogs and engineers? Those are his highest value units. It's like an inverse correlation. The higher the value of the unit, the less the impact. And the cheaper, the more of an impact goat has with that unit. It's like he purchased 3 demo trucks last game for 2,500 a pop, and he did not inflict a single point of damage there. I mean, one of them was okay, but the other 2 were not. And now, he's built 2 dogs, or 3 dogs over the course of those games thus far, and they all were brilliant. They all punched way above their weight class, as well as the engineers. Goat's engineers are the stuff of legends. Not gonna sugarcoat it. He won the early game in all 3 matches, that is correct, yeah. Good spec chat, pointing out the obvious, but that's what I'm here for as well. Oh, this time, oh. Double promotion, forensic casting. Double promotion means that there has been either 1 dead NG or like 3 rocket soldiers. And my money's on the NG. Yep, he also doesn't have any APC anymore. So at least something going Cav's way. But we're gonna take a look at combat tab. Very, very decisive. In terms of production, we're just seeing more barracks being added for the sweet minus 50% build time modifier. And there is a relatively similar timing. This time around, Goat is a couple seconds behind it. That's just from the kennel. Kennel costs you 4-ish seconds, I believe, to build. And that just, it also costs you 2 more clicks. If you don't use hotkeys, which I can't use hotkeys on my new laptop, by the way, because I need to access my BIOS to turn off those secondary functions for those hotkeys, otherwise they don't work. Super annoying. Okay, posturing a bit in front of the main base, just flexing. Just flexing a little. The army has not yet been revealed. He's gonna see that there's very little in the way of resistance. You know what I would do here? I would park the APC in the ore refinery briefly, on the ore refinery docking pad, and force the enemy to deploy a unit, or to deploy a base defense. And then as soon as the base defense is deployed, move out the APC and attack move into the harvester. That is a very viable strategy. But Goat is just continuing to rally more forces over to Cav's main base. And he's also got the eco-transfer. He's got this down to a T. Apply pressure on the front lines, posture with your army, while simultaneously expanding in the back. That is something that I always fail to do. I usually just fortify my first expansion without exerting pressure. And that leads to your opponent being free to do whatever the hell they want with their army. Getting in position, setting up an ambush. Oh, hello, it's just a friendly scouting run, just your friendly neighborhood APC. I've brought my friends for barbecue! There we go. Oh, he's committing hard here. Alright, that's pretty good. Yep, that is gonna be a dead ore refinery. Retains the harvester, but that's completely worth it for Goat. Surgical strike, exfiltrates with his army, leaves a couple rifles behind. I really like what he's doing there, because that delays the army. That delays the army from chasing and killing even more units. Splitting off the heavy tank now. Ooh. On the road, the APC would have had a sick chance at crushing. Leave no rifle behind, except when you have to leave rifles behind. They're 100 a pop. Heavy tank has now been positioned. That's really smart play from Goat, I like that. Cav so far has been playing reactionary in this series, or in this match at least. I wouldn't say in this series, because he has definitely tried to get an upper edge in the early game. He just has never succeeded thus far. How many barracks are we up to? 3, 4. Okay, the Derrick is down. Only quote-unquote 4 barracks here versus 7 for Cav, and 7 is the maximum. So that's why Cav always has this overwhelming infantry army, and that is definitely his forte. He frequently wins games just with his sheer infantry army mass advantage. And now I know why, because he goes up to 7 barracks way earlier than other players. We can see the 4 for Goat here. Oh, it's now 5. Yeah, it's 5 now. But still. Can the tanks connect? 1 breaching. Oh, that was fairly decent. And the Harvester gets killed to boot. That was not half bad for Cav. Goat's army is a bit idle. Should be pushing in. Yeah, that 7 barrack strat. He's losing a lot of infantry now, though. Re-engaging his Goat and cleaning up the army. At the end of the day, I think Goat got away with a black eye. Ooh, gets another Harvester here, though. That was a nice backstab. And the same idea there for Goat, but in principle, but Cav was not dropping the ball during this engagement. So, where does that leave us? Destroyed tab is even. Economy tab, we've got 6 Harvesters for Goat and 7 for Cav. So Goat definitely struggling a little bit. Cav now up to 8 again. So the economy is soon gonna be in Cav's favor. Cav also has a slight asset lead for the time being. Goat is usually so good about repairing his tanks. This is one of those few exceptions. Oh, flame tower deployed. No, sir. Second flame tower deployed. Time for a barbecue. Nice. Good catch from Cav. Expecting the push. Just at the right position. Ooh, that was a sexy attempt here. With the tank still in the backlines, running circles around the army. And this is what I'm talking about, that the top players are definitely doing better than some of the mid-tier players. Just anticipating the armies. And that is a skill you have to... That is just an acquired taste of OpenRA. You don't learn that automatically. You have to really read your opponent, since scouting is so limited. There are, like in StarCraft, for example, you've got those scanner sweeps for Terrans, you've got the invisible probes for Protoss, whatever they're called. You've got the cheap observers for Zerg. So, at the end of the day, it's easy to scout. Whereas, if you're playing OpenRA, your only cheap and viable option is just spreading around rifles and assuming the enemy army position. So if you just lost an engagement on one side of the map, you know, okay, my opponent is there. So I'm gonna be where my opponent isn't. And that was just what was happening with those tanks. Going for the wide flank. Both players bleeding infantry and assets here. And at the end of the day, I think Cav is emerging victorious from this position. Okay. Very decisively so. I did not think that would have been this clear cut. But the tanks are still alive. Front line's crumbling now, but another heavy tank is joining the fray. This is absolutely devastating. It is not looking good for Goat this game. War Factory, oh, has been cancelled. Wow. Cav dismantling the base, and there's basically no counter-aggression here. What is actually going on? That was very decisive. GG being called. There was just no counter-aggression on any of those fronts whatsoever. And this leaves us with a 2-1 lead for Cav. So Goat has definitely got a long road ahead of himself if he wants to pull this back and be crowned a 3 times RHL champion, or is it going to be Cav this time around? We're gonna find out in the next cast. So the thing is, I'm gonna be releasing those back to back. I'm not gonna be annoying and basically spread them out over 2 weeks, but I'm gonna spread them out over 2 videos, and the reason being is just for simple time constraints, because no one, I know the viewer retention rates, and as soon as a video is over an hour long, people watch 10 minutes, and presumably the last 10 minutes to spoil themselves, and I don't want to deprive people of the well-deserved RHL finals, so I'm gonna split this up into a second video that is gonna release maybe a day after the first. So, see you for you it's gonna be tomorrow, for me it's gonna be in literally 2 minutes. See you there for the second part, the conclusion of the RHL Season 11 Finals. Really good series thus far, not as wacky as the bronze match, but very, very methodical. And we're seeing a 2-1 lead for Cav, which honestly I had not expected. But then again, it's Cav, the infantry master. So see you next time. 5 aces out.
Battle control terminated.